Good morning, people. I'm here at my mom's house early. Came over here to see my grandmother. But I'm listening to one of my mentors this morning. I had a road trip, about a 45-minute drive, and I always like to listen to training. So Billy Jean is one of my mentors, and he's always ranting and raving about certain things, YouTube, live streams, running ads. And for some reason, when you're learning, it takes some time in order to take in what he's telling you, or any of your mentors are telling you, and actually take action on it. It doesn't mean you're not doing anything, but you're overriding what you think to be true and listening to people who have what you want and can teach you how to get what you want. So I'm going to actually start doing more live streaming. I always like talking about a bulletproof mindset. And basically, yesterday actually, I was hanging with a good friend of mine. What's going on, Dana? Thanks for tuning in, man. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Greg Scott, over at the Financial Fit Club. And Greg Scott, if you don't know, is one of my best friends. Known him for a long time. We've seen a lot of things together. Started over at the shipyard. And last night he was telling me, we were just talking about our businesses, and his business is doing extremely well, by the way. If you haven't heard, what's up, G? Talking about you right now, man. If you haven't heard of the Financial Fit Club, Greg is helping a lot of people out here change their finances. So anytime we talk, we always catch up, and we always talk about finances, and we talk about our business. And Greg was talking to me last night about having grit. And there's a lot of things I don't even take into account. And just looking back over the years, I realized that if you have been watching me and you see what I do, all my videos basically boil down to this. No matter what comes up, no matter what happens, I will keep moving forward. There's nothing that will stop me. I believe in myself so much that absolutely nothing will stop me from getting where I'm trying to go. That's just how I am. And, I didn't start realizing that about myself until I started getting into personal development, which was probably about 2012, I think. Right, Greg? Is Greg, you there, Greg? I think 2012 we started listening to them books and getting into that. And around that time, you start realizing the qualities and skills you have within you. Because if you're not hanging around the right people, they're not going to tell you these things anyway. So around that time, I started realizing that, hey, I wasn't just an average person, man. There was, everybody's special, but you got to pull that out of yourself. So talking to Greg last night, we were talking about our businesses again. And I was telling him about the time, because I had lost my job because I was injured. And then they let me come back to work for 6 months. But when they let me come back to work, I sat in this. It was 2011, 2012. Yeah, we started listening to, I think it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad stuff. And, but I went back to work, and I sat in this warehouse, and there was a whole bunch of people sitting in this warehouse. I was injured and couldn't work, but they had to let me come back to work. And all day, 8 hours a day, while I was sitting there, I would sit in this chair, and I was either reading a book, and at that time I was in network marketing, or I was reaching out to over 100 people a day. And, whether they said yes, no, it kind of didn't make a difference to me. I didn't think about it. It was just kind of on to the next one. And somehow we got on that story last night, and Greg was like, "You got grit." And I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "I never thought of that." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, to be able to do what you did and just to be able to move on to the next thing. He's like, it takes a special person to do that. And I think we all have that capability. Of course, Greg has it, but I think we all have that capability. And it's all about, are we dedicated to get what we want to get? And if you are, what are you willing to do to get it? I think a few weeks ago, I don't really do New Year's resolutions. You're going to do what you're going to do, or you're not going to do what you got to do. I don't need a new year to kind of put that in perspective. If anything, I reflect and see where I'm at, where I've been going, and just, put myself in a position where I feel like I want to make more changes. So when this time comes around next year, I'm not in the same exact spot. And, I was on a training with Billy, which every Tuesday I get on training. I missed last Tuesday. It was important things I had to do. But every Tuesday I'm on training for at least 4 to 6 hours. And Billy was like, what are you going to give up? What are you going to give up? And I was like, all right. So I like watching the UFC. I kind of gave up football. I don't even know who's in the playoffs right now. Don't really give a damn. And I watch UFC from a personal development standpoint, because those guys have a strong mindset to get punched and kicked in the face regardless, repeatedly. And he was like, look, man, are you willing to give that up? And I thought about it. I was like, damn, what else am I willing to sacrifice to get to where I want to go? And in all honesty, I'm willing to sacrifice anyone and anything besides my son and my wife. So at that point, I gave up watching the UFC and replaced that with watching more personal development things, or watching more things about the skills and abilities that I need to become the best, because I'm the best in my mind as it is already, and it's just a matter of time before people see that. And but I already know. I felt like I was the best before I step in any game, and that's how and that's the mindset you got to have. And it's a line between being confident and cocky. But if you know the person, you understand where their heart is, and you know where they're coming from, that's all that really matters. So the question I ask you all today, which getting on these live streams, I tend to run in circles. I tend to rant. It is what it is. You know, you'll get to know that. But what do you want? What are you willing to give up to get it? How many times? I don't. How many times have I been told no since I've been doing this? Even before the network marketing. Like in network marketing, like I was telling you, I was making reaching out to 100 people a day, whether it was through messenger, text, emails, calls. And how many people told me no? And then when they told me yes, good morning, Christina. Good morning. And when people told me yes, to get them to the next step, like sales, like Billy talks about all the time, sales and marketing is key. Am I the best salesman in the world? No, but I know I can sell. If I need to go make some money right now, I know I can make some money, you know, and I won't stop until the money is made. But to be able to get told no over and over and over again, it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't faze me, because if they won't, somebody else will. And that's the attitude we got to have. So whatever it is that you're trying to go after it. Sacrifice, like Dana said, you got to be willing to sacrifice. And like I said, the only thing I'm not willing to sacrifice is my son and my wife. Like my son, you guys know, that's all I really put out there is stuff about my son. I mean, if you've been watching my videos, I think I'm over 150 videos from last year. Those videos last year were kind of shitty to me. Like, I don't even like any of my videos, but that doesn't stop me from putting the content out there, putting it together. And I'm even making a dedicated effort to make my videos even better and better and better. And I plan on starting to interview people and find out what Gabe means to them. That kind of ties into Bulletproof Mindset. And I say that all the time when people ask me. And it's gratitude, appreciation, visualization every day. Start off the day from a place of gratitude, and you'll just I don't know, you'll realize how different your day starts. I mean, even like right now for the people on this live stream, I think there's 2 of you guys still. Dana, what are you grateful for? Type it in there. Christina, what are you grateful for? Type it in there. Someone gonna type? There's not many people on here, but every morning I wake up, man, and as soon as I open up my eyes, I just smile, and I'm just grateful, of course, for simple things. Like, of course, you know, I was a single father till I got married, but the fact that I had custody of my son since he was 10 months old when I split up with his mother. Grateful for another chance. Every day is another chance. Every day is new opportunities. Exactly. Every day we have the opportunity to start over. Like, if there's something you want to do, like sometimes when we go into thinking about dieting, you'll wait till Monday. You'll mess up on Tuesday, like, oh, I'll get back to next Monday. Forget that. Every day is a new chance to be better, you know? So you can't always harp on the failures. The failures are just to remind you. And like Christina said, your son is healthy. Gregory said, I called you Gregory. I'm grateful for my grit. Greg has grit, man. Like, Greg and I have been in the trenches, man. We met each other at the shipyard over 10 years ago, man, and we've just seen each other grow tremendously. And like Dana said, new opportunities. Every day is a new opportunity, man. And like, the biggest thing that we have to work on is our mindset. Approaching the day, like I said, from a place of gratitude, appreciation, and visualizing what you want. Like, I didn't just put those letters together just for the fun of it. Like, those letters actually mean something to me. And those are some of the things that I put in place to help me move forward consistently every day. Like, every morning I wake up, typically 3:45, and I just start getting my mind right to attack the day. I go watch my son laying in his bed. He's knocked out, and I just smile. And sometimes I just tear up and cry, like, because just to be able to have him in my life the way I have him in my life, I couldn't imagine it any other way. I couldn't imagine him living with his mom and me seeing him on the weekend. If anything, the only day I don't see him is on Saturday. I'm grateful for my wife. I mean, when I first met her, I was healthy, and then like a few months later, I'm hit by this car and I'm down, and she was with me every step of the way, never wavered, and it's just like, I'm just grateful for all those things. I'm grateful for things that I physically don't have already. So, I mean, for you guys that are still on, what's something that you want? What's something that you want right now that you don't have? You know, we want to buy a new house. Of course, I'd like to get a new car. I used to have a 745 and still got my truck, and had to sell those things just to make a way to keep things going. But What's something that you guys want right now that you don't have? Because in all honesty, you can be grateful for it now. And if you're grateful for it now and you can see it here, it'll come. Like everything that I'm doing now, I saw in advance. Didn't happen overnight. But I tell you what, I kept seeing it regardless if anybody else saw it. And it's here. Like I write things down in my notebook all the time. And they come true. And I'm always changing. Like maybe I'm writing too much down there, like 10 to 15 things. And I need to try some of your food, Christina. I seen your pictures and I like them. I don't be on Facebook like that or Instagram, but when I'm up there, that stuff looks extremely good. Dana said more consistent revenue. Exactly, and that's what I'm looking for too. You know, we get customers, we help customers, and sometimes we'll blow their stuff out the water, and they just be like, all right, great. I'm like, how'd I take $250 or $300, $400, $500 and multiply it times 10, and you just walk away without throwing more money on it? I never understand. Greg says, I want my own daycare for Nika. That would be dope because she can run it the way she wants to run it. So this is something I've been learning because, like I said, I work on mindset. So for all the three things that you guys just said, like let's start with Christina. You want your own food truck. Consider the best empanada 757 for your next event. I will. They do look good. I just need to get with you and get some. But let's start with your food truck, Christina. Be thankful for the truth. Be grateful for the food truck right now. In your mind, you have the food truck. What does the food truck look like? You know, like for me, you guys seen in one of my videos probably how I talked about this yellow Mustang. For some reason, I'm just obsessed. Yellow's my color, but I'm obsessed with this new Mustang, and I don't even care about Mustangs, but this new one. So I'm grateful for the Mustang that I already have, because in here, when I'm driving my car, I'm driving the Mustang. So for you, if you want the food truck, be grateful for the food truck. And when you keep thinking about that food truck and what it looks like and how it feels and how it's going to feel to be actually driving it and serving people and giving them the best food, you know, because all your stuff looks good. Like even before you were posting empanadas, that stuff looked good. But be grateful for the fact that you have that truck right now, and it'll show up in your head. I mean, you got to see it in your head, and then you think everything you're looking at, like between my live stream and everything around, it was a thought before it was a thing. That's how everything starts. And the world is full of abundance. No matter what you see, there's plenty of it. Whether it's cars, the tires on the cars, grass, trees, there's plenty of everything, and it's out there for us to have, and it's all about claiming it for yourself. But you have to be grateful for it in advance. You know, you have to be grateful for it in advance for it to come true. And sometimes what happens is, you know, doubt creeps in our mind and puts us in a position where we set ourselves back. But like Dana said earlier, new opportunities. Every day is a new opportunity for you to restart that, or even then you can change your attitude right then at that point. So let's see. So Dana said, what's Dana said? He said more consistent revenue. So what's the amount of revenue you're trying to make? What's the amount of revenue you're trying to make? And what, like you said before, what's the sacrifices that you're doing to try to make it? And one of the things I had to realize too, it's about talking about how you're going to serve people versus how much money you're going to make. So my first series was, oh, no problem, Christina. No problem, man. I'm glad that you tuned in. I mean, this is how my mind works. And like my mentor said, all you got to do is turn on the camera and go. Like, I probably, you know, I'm not nervous. I don't ever like how I look on camera, but I don't really give a damn. I just go and I just say how I feel. And the only thing I need to do is turn on the camera a little bit more and share how I feel and what keeps me going with other folks, you know, 5 to 10K monthly. So in our business, Dana, because we do the same thing, 5 more customers at minimum $1,000 a month, you know. And it's just how many calls you're gonna make. I gotta, and I have to show you guys my board. I got ugly ass handwriting, so I don't like showing people that stuff. But in my board, I got, if I make 5,000, if I reach out to 5,000 people, I can make 20 grand a month, you know. And every day I write how many people I reach out to. Sometimes it's less than I would like. Some days there's zeros, but I'm working on creating the machine like Billy talks about. So in our case, all you got to do, man, is put together an advertising campaign to show your skills and just knock that out, man. Like, it's not as hard as it seems. Like, I think I put together the first one in April out of the group, and I just didn't stick with it. I lost a few $100, and I got caught up in cold calling and going to networking events. All that stuff's great, but you can either do a machine or you can start going live, because I'm going to start going live on my business channel every day and just offering value and content. And then, you know, more people are going to give me money to help, and then I can get picky and choosy who I'm going to help, because they need certain things in place in order for me to help them efficiently and to make sure that they're going to stick around, because I help people all the time and then they bounce, and it's just like, it's good for a case study, but I'm past that case study, deal, so let's see. Christina says, if money wasn't an issue, I'd cook for everyone every day, no problem. And to bring up Eric Thomas, which I don't listen to him as much as I used to, I remember him saying in one of the videos I used to watch a few years ago, was like, you'd be willing to do, like you just said, someone shouldn't have to pay you for what you want to do, but you get paid anyway. I know I'm messing up the quote, but Christina, what you just said kind of reminded me of that. You said, if money wasn't an issue, I'd cook for everyone every day, no problem. So, matter of fact, Christina, I need to order something from you. So, can you send me a private message, and I'll place an order for some of those empanadas today. And she said, that helps me keep my eye on the prize. I genuinely love cooking. And if that's what you love doing, like you said, that's what you should do, man. Like, what I love doing is talking about mindset. I like talking about being grateful for things and visualizing things and learning, even learning how to visualize is crazy. Like, once you start realizing the power that we have with our mind and our abilities, it's out of this world, man. Like, everything that I want is coming into play. Sometimes it doesn't come as fast as I would like it, but you got to allow things to work itself out, but you have to put good vibes out there. If you feel good, good things happen. If you feel bad, bad things happen. So I'm naturally, it's almost like insect repellent. Like, when people have poor attitudes and a poor outlook on life, I just naturally just can't be around them. It just fucks me up. I just can't do it. Let's see. You got it. I recommend the seafood ones. I can deliver as well. Yeah, let's try that, because I just went vegetarian like a few months before I got married, so trying not to eat meat no more. But what kind of meat you put in there? I mean, seafood meat. But yeah, man, so I guess I'll leave you guys with that. I mean, I don't really want to get off, but my grandmother's in town, and I just stopped over here to see her before I go to the office, go back to Virginia Beach, go to the office, and actually I'm going to shoot some videos today, work on my live strategy today, figure out what time every day I'm going to go live, because I've been talking about doing that for a year. I was talking about doing my videos for over a year, and then when I got on the training with Billy last February, he was like, document the process, and I've got slack over the past few weeks. All right, yeah, please do message me. I've gotten slack over the past month with my videos. It's more or less been Joe doing jiu-jitsu, but that's part of the process. And, but, expect some changes, and like Dana, I'm telling you now, once I start doing these interviews for Gabe, I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you. You've been a huge supporter, and I appreciate you always checking me out. Christina, I'm going to get some empanadas from you, and at the same time, I'd like to see what you have to say. What are you grateful for? What do you appreciate? And what's your vision? Of course, it's the food truck, and I'm going to start interviewing anybody who's interested in telling their story. Because it's not about people who make the most money. It's about everyday people like you and myself. We're all special. We all have the power. We can all achieve. It's just all about, what do you believe? Who do you spend your time with? I mean, I don't care who you are. I will cut you off in a moment's notice if you aren't about the right thing. And I mean, that's the only reason I'm where I'm at, because I just won't allow myself to fool around with people who don't have my best interest at heart. No one's going to take away from my son. No one's going to take away from my wife. And I'm even not letting people take away from me. Sometimes we have we put ourselves in a position where we give too much of ourselves to the people that don't deserve it. And a lot of people say that, but a lot of times we don't realize it. So evaluate who you're around. Who do you listen to? Like I said, I only listen to a few people. Even with my parents, I love my parents, but the things that I'm going after, they've never achieved, and it's no disrespect to them, because they've helped me out tremendously, but there's certain things I can't take their advice on, because they just don't know. They just don't know. They don't know, so how could I take their advice? So, I'm going to actually start getting on here daily, man. Like, for me, it's just about turning on the camera. I'm like I said, I'm not nervous. I've been on video plenty of times, and I'll even get less nervous, because I'm not nervous now, but it's just about turning on that camera. So, like I said, evaluate who you're talking to. Who do you listen to? What's your willingness to learn? What's your willingness to change? And master whatever basics that you have to do in order to be where you're at. So, Dana, I know you've been studying what we've been studying for a while, so, you're a master, man. It's just about demonstrating to other people that you're a master. Whether it be through turning on the live or turning on videos and just showing people what you can do and how you can help them, or just showing the results from the campaigns you got. Like, I got a testimonial on my page right now, just from a few clients just saying, hey, how good of a job we done. And with Christina, your pictures are really good. Your food always looks good. So just keep doing more what you're already doing. And I look forward to trying empanadas and sharing those with the wife. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and staying on this long. I'm about to go see my grandmother, get on with the day, and I will. And feel free. It's not your job, but feel free if I slack on this, say, hey, what the hell, what's going on? I thought you was getting on every day. I don't mind. So let's see. Need to get on the live band. You got to, man. Like, it's crazy. Billy gets his haircut live every week. I think he's on week 30, and then he makes a few $100s to a few grand every time. You too, Christina. I appreciate it and look forward to your message. And I will be trying you out, and I'll give you a video testimonial. That's one thing I'll tell you for both of you guys. Anytime you do anything for anybody, the best time to get a testimonial is as soon as they do it. So, Christina, if you can get people taking the first bite of the empanada, and that's part of your like testimonial reel. Like, imagine me, let's say Dana tried one, and you got us taking the first bite and getting our reaction, and you make a video of like 10, 15, 20 people doing that. You know how many people will be knocking down your door for those things? I mean, just from showing people's reaction like that. So you guys got it, man. But appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow if you're available. All right, brother.